I'm gonna be honest here. Hirotaka's past, like his summer past, is kind of relatable to me because when I first when I saw the start of the episode, I never thought Hirotaka would have that kind of past. Like he used to act cool and stuff without him acting naturally. That's at least what it was implied in the first before the opening went through, and we could see that Hirotaka used to pierce his ears and stuff. I never did that, but in general, me too. I used to try to act cool and stuff, but it's just that you don't act naturally when you act cool, and I think so that's what it is. Being cool is what is acting naturally what you really are. Like, you just have to accept what you are. That's basically what I learned as I grew up through my teenager years. And yes, it is true. When I was in my high school, I used to I used to just be like Hirotaka, I would say. I used to act cool and stuff, and I would say that in a way, it is kind of relatable to me because I kind of felt relatable at that point when Hirotaka was like, I always wanted to act cool, because I thought I would be an adult soon. So it really felt like that, and I kind of just like felt very relatable to that part of Hirotaka in this episode because it's kind of like this right now. As an adult, when I look back to my past, I kind of feel like it's like this. It feels like I've done a lot of mistakes in my past, and it just like this that I moved on from my mistakes, and I moved on into my new life, and I just like it feels very comfortable when you actually act very naturally because me acting naturally in this past year or so, it's kind of changed. Like you could see that my way of talking, my way of expressing myself, I have changed. If anybody is a long time viewer to my channel, they'll know that when I was doing gaming videos, I was a like very silent type of gamer. I never used to talk much, and I would only used to give reactions to reviews and like games and stuff. But right now, when I look at my these new videos I produce and look at all these stuff all these new stuff I produce like all these anime reviews, all the new gaming videos that I did. I look at them and I look at my past gaming videos. It feels not very unlike unnatural. And throughout this whole year, it's like this that my me I have kind of become like it's become natural for me to watch anime and just make reviews. Like it just feels very natural to me, and this just feels like something that I always would have fun doing until like I don't know, end of times or anything. I don't care how long it is, but it's something I would enjoy. I would say doing anime reviews is something I would enjoy the most when I look at myself. That's the first thing that comes into my mind, that's because just few years ago, I personally I wanted to be a lot of things, and I used to act cool, like all used to wear all these cool jackets and stuff. Like I wasted a lot of money. I wasted a lot of money from my parents when I used to be young, and I know this is not an ad. This is like 4 minutes in, and I'm still talking about my life rather than reviewing the anime. But it's so relatable for me because when I was in high school, in middle school, high school, I wasted a lot of my parents' money on me. Like, I realize that now. And it kind of feels like I used to ask them to buy me way expensive things. Well, when I knew that it was kind of out of reach, and I still used to ask them to buy these expensive things like a leather jacket and all that. It just because I wanted to be a cool kid. I want to be within those cool kids. And I realized something. When you look at yourself, uh, back then, the cool kids don't seem much 10 years later, because like when you go few years in future, the cool kids seem to be the ones that struggle a lot. Like they struggle a lot. I have seen that. Like, and when I stopped being a cool kid, when I started having my natural conversations, like when I used to like when I started like being free, when I started talking to people on Discord, and by Discord I mean Unreal ENT Game's Discord, like when I used to like talk to people on, and in this past year, I feel like it has become very natural for me to express myself more easily to people rather than being nervous or just acting cool in front of them. I feel like it's become very natural for me right now to express myself and even like look at my past and say that everything I've done so far, I've done a lot of mistakes in my past. I just say that. Like I've done a lot of mistakes that I shouldn't have, and I think so. Like kids do a lot of mistakes. I believe that because when you're in a teenage age, it's very natural to do mistakes. And as I grew up, I realized that, and now I realize that there were a lot of mistakes, a lot. Like there were huge mistakes I made. But anyways, let's talk about the anime now. I don't want to go into my life rant and be like, oh, I made a lot of mistakes. Let's talk about the mistakes now. That'll be for another video. Maybe sometime I'll do my life story or something. Maybe at that time I may talk about my life. But anyways, let's talk about this anime, this episode. Did you guys see that? My dude Hirotaka has his own brother Hirotaka, little brother Hirotaka. We got the big Hirotaka, we got the little Hirotaka. Like Nao and Nifuji. We got two Hirotakas, my dude. And one is a very natural like this guy is just like, yo, my dude, I really like like when I look at this character, it reminds me of that one shy guy in your class who's like who's pretty dumb, but at the same time tries to make friends. That's what it reminds me of when I look at now. It kind of reminds me of that one dumb guy in your class who's pretty dumb. He's very cheerful, but he's pretty dumb. But at the same time, he tries to make friends. So that's basically what now reminds me of, and and pretty much Nifuji and Nao's relationship, the way they were talking to each other, that was just funny. One of the best moments in this episode for me was just like when Hirotaka just sits near Kabakura and I'm sorry. Oh, I cracked my voice. I'm sorry. Koyanagi was basically like, you shouldn't talk trash about what's her name? You shouldn't talk trash about the main female character. I'm sorry, I forgot her name. 5 episodes in, and I still forget her name. Wow. But yeah, you shouldn't talk about trash about her. And Nifuji was like, her what? Like Kabakura just literally takes a sip. He takes a sip of the tea, a coffee, and Kabakura looks at his left and is like, "Hey, it's hot. You understand that, right?" And then he just looks back down and he's just like, holy shit, when did this guy come out of nowhere? And his expression was laughable. Like this man has a laughable expression. At the same time, I also felt heartwarming at the end of the episode. I have to say that because the way his brother, he expressed himself, he's a very caring brother. I have to say that. Like, that the brother is a very caring brother. Like, little Hirotaka cares a lot about his Oni-chan, and like the way he expressed it, like he like we all know, looking at Hirotaka's character, anybody would have thought that this man, he's a loner. He's mainly not somebody who would like to hang out with a girlfriend. But when you see this man speak out the truth, you kind of feel that heartwarming desire, that it kind of feels very heartwarming in a way, because you see that you see this man get satisfied for his little brother. He sees this little man just feel for his brother. Like he could feel the feelings because even though this character was just introduced in this certain episode, the attachment in the last four episodes were Hirotaka, and all of these main cast characters, the main character and the side cast characters, they are attraction, like we are attracted to these characters, and when you see somebody else like care for this character, it kind of feels like very very heartwarming because it kind of gives a good feel when you look at the end of the episode. And that's what I felt like the way he was speaking and all, it was very heartwarming to see his brother care for him. Because let me tell you this, the world is a cruel place and very few siblings care about each other. like like legit, like this, very few siblings care about each other. Mainly is the big one, big brother, who cares about the little brother. Like the little brother is just like there, like being rebellious and stuff. It's mainly the big brother who actually cares about the little brother a lot than he shows himself to be. But here you could see that both the brothers are attracted. In a way, Hirotaka is also attracted towards his little brother because, in a way, he even though he ignores him and all that, he's still he's still he's still caring about his little brother in a way. Like he's cold, but at the same time he's that kind of character who's cold but caring. Remember Hirotaka's character. He's cold, but he's caring at the same time. So yeah, it kind of felt good. And I like how Kabukura was being the father figure of of the main female character. I really love that. Like my dude, Kabukura straight up is the father figure. I'm like, yo, my dude, my dude, my dude. I love it. And I love the part where Koyanagi and Kabukura just kiss and he's like, him and me? We are two. We are two couple. Him and her, they're two couple. I'm like, yo, yo, yo. The way she even said that, I was like, yo, 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 yo. I really love the way she even said that. I know it's not a big thing the way characters talk about, but the voice acting in this series is just so awesome. I love it. Like they portray the character so well. I really, really love it. And if ever this series gets a dub, I would love to watch the dub too, because I know in a way the comedic dubs, like when I see it comedy dubs, like for example Hajimete no Girl, like when I see it that series, or when I see it dubs like what was that another series, uh dubs like, I know one more series that I watched which was dubbed and it was a comedy series. I forgot the name of it, but I even like that one series. But yeah, like when you see a dubs, when it comes to comedy series, they always impress you. Like I've seen this, like they always impress you when it comes to dubs. And I hope this series gets a dub, because I would like to hear the voice acting in dub and compare it with the Japanese dub, because it'll be something to look at, because this series is just like awesome. But in a way, like in every shape or form, like you may see flaws in this series. Even I see flaws in this series. Sometimes I see flaws in this series. It's not like I don't see flaws in this series. No series is flawless, okay? You can't say me Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood doesn't have flaws. You can't say me Dragon Ball Z doesn't have flaws. You can't say Naruto doesn't have flaws. Every single series has its own flaws, and it also has its own pros. It's not like every series is just perfect. There's never a perfect series when it comes to any anime. Any anime is never perfect. Any fictional thing is never perfect, nor is anything that is made, because nothing is perfect. Just remember that when it comes to anything you watch, any kind of internet stuff you watch, nothing is ever perfect. Even when you play a game is never perfect. Even though a lot of people would say that Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is perfect, or God of War is perfect, there would still be some kind of flaws you will find in there. And it's very natural for everything to have a flaw. So yeah, it's very natural for everything to have a flaw. That's just my point over here. And this anime isn't perfect in any way. Like, I'm not saying it's perfect in any way, but the comedic aspect of this anime, which mixes it romance, is just it's just good. Like, it's just like I love it. Like, they just make it so good. Like, my dude, like they just make it so good. So let me know what you think about this episode of Love is Hard for Otaku. Let me know what do you think about the brothers, the sibling relationship. Let me know what do you think about the ending, where this heartwarming ending we just saw. Let me know if you can relate to your Taka's starting point. Like, if you have some story about that, let me know about that too. And I'll see you in the next video. As always, peace.